nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.
In today's celebrity conspiracy reading, I'm going to be channeling the energy of Chester Bennington. Chester Bennington was born on March 20th, 1976, and he died on July 20th, 2017. And the coroner said that the death was suicide by hanging in Chester Bennington's case. Now, there are a lot of conspiracies out there regarding the death of not only Chester Bennington, but also Chris Cornell, a good friend of his, who is also a singer. So, I decided to let Chester come through me and tell us his story using the tarot and oracle cards today. The conspiracy is that rather than suicide, it is quite possible that Chester Bennington was murdered because of his desire to expose child human trafficking. Now, this is a conspiracy. It hasn't been confirmed, but some people say that he was funding a documentary regarding Hollywood and child trafficking. But one thing can be confirmed, and that is that he spent much of his time and money trying to help people, with his philanthropy. So I'm going to light this candle in honor of the energy of Chester Bennington. And as long as this candle is lit, Chester can come through to tell his story using me as a channel, as well as the tarot and oracle cards. So Chester Bennington, I ask you to be with me now as this candle is lit, so we can get the truth of what happened to you. All right. Okay. Since we're kind of checking into a murder conspiracy, I'm just going to start by pulling 3 of the murder mystery cards. I'm going to shuffle the deck 3 times, cut the deck, draw a card, and then repeat that until we have 3 cards from this deck. All right, Chester. In the future, the killer may admit guilt. Was the first card. In the future, the killer may admit guilt. Okay. What else do you have for us, Chester? The second card, killer is a predator who tracks a specific type of victim. All right. So if that is the case, let's say it was a murder rather than a suicide, this killer may admit their guilt in the future. Maybe. It's up in the air. But also the killer is a predator who tracks a specific type of victim. So if we look at this, what type of victim would they be tracking? I'm sure you know. It's people who want to expose the atrocities going on in the world, right? So that would be the type of victim that they're looking for. All right, Chester. Killer sustained a wound during the murder. Interesting. It's unfortunate that if it was murder rather than suicide, it's unfortunate that it was so quickly called a suicide because no one was able to collect that type of evidence, you know, to get more information on if it was something else. Next, I'm going to pull 3 of the cards from the Rider-Waite tarot deck. And I asked Chester to just tell us, what was your energy leading up to your death in your home? Oh, I didn't mention this before, but when Chester Bennington committed suicide, he was actually on vacation in Arizona with his family, and he cut it short and went home to work. So, and then he was later found dead in his home by hanging. All right, so I'm going to shuffle these 3 times, and then we're going to pull 3 cards right off the top. What's the energy? What is your energy leading up to your death? All right, so we have the Fool reversed, all right? So I think that he was, in a way, going into a new beginning, but unlike the Fool normally, when it's upright, he didn't have this naive, positive outlook about himself, unknowingly walking off a cliff. I feel like Chester knew what he might have been getting into leading up to his death, all right? Yeah, the 10 of Swords. Definitely a backstabbing situation. Someone, you know, this is like being killed, murdered. We have the 8 of Wands reversed. And I feel like this is reversed because his death had to do with not letting information out into the public. Because normally the 8 of Wands is my card for information coming in fast, like on the internet or something like that. But with this card being reversed, I feel like, especially next to the 10 of Swords, I feel like it is quite possible that he's trying to say through these cards, because I asked, what is the energy leading up to your death, right? So I feel like his communication was stopped. The expression of his thoughts was stopped. He knew that he could have been walking himself right off a cliff by leading up to this event of his death, right? All right, so now I'm going to pull 3 from the Deviant Moon Tarot to get a little clarity on Chester Bennington's energy leading up to the event of his death and his alleged suicide. All right, so let's get a little more clarity on Chester Bennington's energy leading up to his death. We have the Ace of Cups. I feel like this is something emotional being held close to the chest, right? Just like the cup in the image. Something emotional being held close to the chest. Something he's been looking into, because she's looking down into the cup. Now, if I just noticed this in the image, you guys. This is quite interesting. As you can see, the moon has moonbeams going down into the cup as well. So that is another indication that what it is he was focusing on, making him emotional, was something that is hidden, such as the moon being hidden in the day, right? The next card was the 7 of Swords. And as you can see, it's like he's swallowing his own sword here. I feel like with this Seven of Swords, it's like, because normally in the Seven of Swords, it's like a man running off with all the swords. But in this case, there's just one sword on his foot and the other sword on a string, which is, as you can see, the string is fraying. Oh, I wish that would focus. Let's try to get it to. The string is fraying, if you can see that in the image. And it's like, once that string breaks, he's going to be stabbing himself with that sword, right? Swords are your thoughts. Ooh, and then we have this Page of Swords as well. So with this page, he has one eye kind of illuminating that sword. As you can see, it's almost like this page has a light bulb or some kind of flashlight on his eyeball, and it's shining directly onto a sword. Again, the swords representing thoughts, representing something that wants to be expressed. And this is a page. It is not the knight, the king, or the queen. So this expression is kind of new. It's like he's just beginning to take a look at what he wants to express in this particular page card. That's interesting. So yeah, we did get two swords and a cup here to clarify. So it's definitely something emotional that was trying to be expressed. Okay? But what he wanted to express is the same thing that got him killed. Okay, Chester. We want to know what really happened to Chester Bennington. So Chester Bennington, what happened? What happened to you, Chester Bennington? Whoa. I was trying to shuffle this whole deck and the whole thing just... I'm going to cut it in half so it's less to hold. Give me a minute while I pick it up. Sorry about that, everybody. All right. I'm going to cut this deck in half so then I can shuffle only half of this deck at a time because it's pretty big. All right. So now we have two. All right, Chester. Chester Bennington. What happened? Okay. Democrat. Let's see what else we get. Explain this. The image has Bill Clinton on it. Interesting, too, with what Chester was doing down in Haiti, right? For children. Okay, so we have male and regret. And natural causes. We need that to be explained a little further. Whoa, 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 whoa. So we got timeline issue. And then trapped with J.E. Timeline issue. Timeline issue. Maybe the timeline issue has to do with, like, his death looking like it was not necessarily natural causes, but caused by him, is, if you know what I mean. But it's like that timeline issue. Like, why did he leave his vacation with his family just to go home and kill himself? He felt trapped. He felt trapped, you know, like J.E. What does this mean? Okay, Chester, tell us more. Justice card came out reversed. Maybe even like trapped by high profile people with a lot of money is what caused this to be not looked at. I want to get the other half of this deck and see if it has anything for us. We have surveillance as well, so something on film or recorded. Something is recorded regarding this event. Tell us how you feel trapped, Chester. Trapped. Okay, so cleanup, accomplice, partner in crime. This is strange, okay? Because it could be part of the cleanup here. Could have to do with something on surveillance. And it could have something to do with this as well. Could also have to do with this. Timeline issue, huh? We have a male that has a lot of regret going on with this death of natural cause. I wonder if the person who maybe did it, if it was a murder, you know, has their guilt come out due to this extreme regret. Okay? But yeah, we got the cleanup and accomplice / partner in crime. All right, let's get back to it. All right, Chester, did you kill yourself? Was your death a suicide? Whoops. All right, Chester, was your death a suicide? Serial killer. So this is someone who's probably killed other people? Tell us more about this serial killer. Was your death a suicide? Oops. Homicide card came out. Flipped right over. So according to the cards, according to Chester reading so far, we have the homicide card right after serial killer. So I do believe that this is indicating that this death was certainly not a suicide. It was a homicide. It's really hard to argue, though, when we have a coroner that calls it a suicide by hanging, huh? It's really difficult to go back on something like that, on such a final word of his life. I just flopped over so many cards. That was too many. Let's regroup. Regroup. All right. I want to take both halves of this deck and I'm going to shuffle them together so we can re-split them. All right, Chester, we want to know more. Why did someone take your life? Why would someone take your life? Shuffling these together here. Whoever it is, I think, does have a lot of regret for doing so because it's not like they were doing things bad. Not doing anything bad. Okay. All right, we're going to split this up now. All right. Tell us more, Chester. What happened to you? Why are you dead? What happened to you in life? Why did someone want to kill you? Why did someone want to kill you, Chester? We got abuse, neglect, and success. So I feel like the reason, because I was asking why would someone want to kill you, it's because he was trying to reveal abuse and neglect of people, and it was going to be largely successful based on who he is and his following. So I believe that it is true. I don't know if he really had a documentary he was working on or funding, but he definitely had something to do with abuse and neglect, and they were afraid of how successful his voice could be at getting this message across. Whoa, that card just flew out. Oh, wow. We got 3 that flew out. Okay, so this was their power supply. They being whoever does the abuse, neglect. The abuse/neglect is their power supply. And so are the lies that they tell to cover it up, to keep it in the dark. All right? They were afraid of that collapsing because it is their power supply. Their whole thing is based on lies to the public, and they know that if successful about this, it's over for them. Okay? So whether it's regretful or not, it's almost like they're willing to take someone out who's trying to do the right thing just so that they do not expose themselves. Right? All right. Let's get the other half and see if anything else wants to be revealed. Do you have anything else to say about why you were killed, Chester? We got propaganda, fake news. Home. So, whatever was found at his home was fake news, propaganda. So, the coroner report, fake news, propaganda. It's to sweep it under the rug. It's literally so that you can't ask any more questions because he did it to himself. He hung himself. He said it 100 times. He can't be alone in his own mind, right? That's what they say. Chester, we know you could be alone in your own mind. Look, reptilian, government, law enforcement. That's right. Chester just exposed them. If you've seen some of my readings in the past, this reptilian card is really all about like the sneaky snakes in the grass, right? Sneaky, evil snakes in the grass. And that comes with government and law enforcement. So people in government and in law enforcement also had some type of stake in the lies. Okay? So they must perpetuate the lies. Those evil, greedy snakes in the grass. They're going to say anything and do anything to keep their lies hidden. And it also has to do with drugs. Poison. Oh, this one's upside down. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, I want to show it to you. Okay, so I was looking at my deck and I noticed there were a couple cards upside down. So we got Secret Society and Boat. Which, that's interesting to me. Maybe he knew something about Little St. James Island. I'm sure you can only get there by boat, right? Maybe by private plane. Yeah, Secret Society, Boat. He was removing the mask from this secret. What else do you have to tell us, Chester? Oh, God. Okay. We got, these fell out immediately when I went to shuffle, right? It says, yes, communication and cover-up. His death was a cover-up for some type of communication coming out. Like we said in the beginning, the swords representing something that he needed to express, something that he wanted to give to the world with his voice, with communication in some way. Okay? So, yeah, we got yes with cover-up and communication. So this is definitely a cover-up of some kind of communication. We're going to set these over here. All right. All right. Oops. Did we already have this cleanup card? Yes. A partner, accomplice, partner in crime. Okay. So we also got road and social media. These other ones were already down here. So with the road and the social media, I feel like he had this goal of spreading something, some type of communication on social media. So he was on the way there to giving it to the world through the social media. Do you have anything else to say, Chester? It also has something to do with AI, artificial intelligence. I think in general, social media has a lot to do with AI. Okay. Okay. That was too many. Hold on. All right, we'll try shuffling one more time. If it spills one more time, then the message is over from this deck. Anything else you want to tell us, Chester? Something about a spouse, partner. So either his wife or his partner, which is his friend, his partner in philanthropy, Chris Cornell. So what about spouse or partner? What about the spouse or partner, Chester? What do you want to tell us about the spouse? Aliens? So someone's trying to do mind control, either through a spouse or partner of his. Tell us more about this spouse or partner. What do you want to say? Spouse or partner, Chester. Tell us. Oh, wow. That was too many. Let's try one more time. What do you want to tell us about this spouse or partner and aliens card? This one flipped right over. Perversion. There's some kind of perversion while he was still alive. Had to do with a female. And possibly with an accident. Perversion. So there's some kind of perversion. Then this kidnapped just fell off the top as I was going to put the deck back. So it could also mean that this accident card looks like a crashed airplane or something. Okay, with a spouse or partner, there's some kind of mind control with the female. And there's an accident, or an accident has been talked about, maybe. I don't know anything about an accident with the female, but... Okay, so with these three, I feel like there are people being kidnapped, there are people being taken advantage of in these ways, and they're being kept alive. You know what I'm saying? Like... in many cases, they're not even, you know, they're being kidnapped, but like trapped. Kind of like we already got that trapped card next to J.E., right? So I feel like what he wanted to expose probably just had to do with like being trapped, kidnapped and trapped, being taken advantage of. I'm not sure what he's trying to say here. So if anyone is more familiar with this story than I am, put it in the comments below if accident and female is making sense to anyone. That came out right after these two cards. Which, just with these two cards together, I see that there's a spouse or a partner who is trying to fill his head. Trying to manipulate. Because these are like two aliens in a car going somewhere, right? In the image. So I feel like a lot of people... the way I see this aliens card is definitely about mind control, because when people talk about like alien abductions, for instance, they never like remember the whole thing. It's always some kind of mind control that takes place. And the story isn't all there, right? All right. Do you have any other messages for us in this deck, Chester? What about this? Okay. So there was some kind of agreement or compromise, and also, like, this one says magnetic, unexplainable pull that can't be resisted. And this one says settlement, agreement, compromise. So I don't know if someone kind of gave him an agreement or a settlement that he couldn't refuse, but it seemed like it was like he couldn't resist. Maybe it was him going home during this vacation that led to him allegedly committing suicide. I don't know. Let's see if anything else comes out. What about settlement and magnetic, Chester? Yeah. There was a negotiation that took place. There was some kind of begging and bargaining. Maybe someone was trying to get him not to say something, because there are so many cards where it's like something was going to come out on social media, you know, some type of cover-up or some type of communication this is cover-up for. What about this negotiator, this settlement? What about it? Oh. Okay. On the bottom of this one, it said verge. About to reveal or confess. All right. Interesting. Escapade. He was on a vacation at the time. He's about to bring something out. All right. Let's see if there's any final messages, because this is getting a little long. Do you have any final messages for us in this reading, Chester? Done. Completed. Lesson learned. Well, when I was asking if there are final messages, he says we're done. So, I think Chester has expressed pretty much everything he wants to express in this reading. So, I believe that there was no feelings of being naive here. Chester knew what he was getting himself into. He knew he was possibly walking off a cliff. It looks like someone would have tried to stop him from communicating, especially in quick fashion, such as social media or internet. Based on this card being reversed, someone was trying to stop him from communicating something. Now, this thing he's trying to communicate is something that makes him emotional, something that's remained hidden. Remember the moon shining down in the glass? All right, something held close to the chest. Also, we got these two swords. We got, this is somewhat new information. This is not new information. What he was trying to express was still in the beginning stages, with this being a page rather than a knight, a queen, or a king. It's like the beginning stages. But it's like, even in the beginning stages, he's already about to hurt himself with that knife dangling, right? That knife being what it is that he wants to share with the world. All right. So we also got, I have to kind of unbury everything here that we got. Okay, so we got Democrat, we got timeline issue, trapped, and JE. Okay? We also got male, regret. There's a male that has regret. Remember? Natural causes. And homicide. We got homicide when I asked if it was homicide. Someone knew he was on the verge of exposing something, even while on vacation. There was some negotiation, some begging, bargaining, and he couldn't resist. He was magnetically pulled home for some reason. We also got serial killer. I'm trying to find what else we got that with. Gosh. I kind of made a mess on the table. But we did get the serial killer. I think I got the homicide card actually right after serial killer, if I remember correctly. So whoever could have allegedly done this to Chester, if he didn't do it to himself, is a person who has done this to people before. All right? Now, this was going to be a successful sharing of abuse and neglect, and it was going to be collapsing the power supply of those liars who are trying to keep it hidden. All right? And it could have also had to do with drugs of some kind or a poison of some kind. Not necessarily his death, but maybe what he's trying to expose. All right? We got propaganda, fake news, along with the home card, meaning whatever happened to him at his home could have definitely been fake news propaganda. That's just what we've been told, right? It's just what we've been told by government, law enforcement, those evil snakes. We got the spouse partner card next to aliens. There could have been some kind of mind control, whether it was from a business partner or his own wife. We got kidnapped, perversion, female, and accident. Again, if you know anything about a female and accident, put it in the comment section below because I'm not real sure. Whatever, something happens while people are still alive, probably just the kidnapping and perversion, they keep them alive rather than doing anything else with them. We got the justice card fell out reversed. There was also an accomplice involved in this cleanup. And something is on surveillance. All right? Someone didn't want eyes on them. We got yes with the cover-up in communication. Yes. It's a cover-up for some kind of communication. And remember, we got the road card and we got social media and AI. So it's almost like he was already either had a goal to put it out on social media or he's already on his way to do it. And that's what we have. And then, of course, he told us when we were done with this reading. So thank you so much, Chester. Here's him again. So thank you, Chester Bennington, for being here with me. And now it's time to send you back to the energy from where you came. So thank you, Chester Bennington, for being here with us today and offering your story, using me and the Tarot and Oracle as your channel. Thank you so much. And now I send you back to the energy from where you came. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn, no closure, moving closer. No